What's up YouTube? Welcome to today's video where we're going to be going over why this FLASK needs to be unnerfed, because it will allow a huge amount of build diversity while also enabling one of the most beloved items of all time to be played again. Now, if you're wondering what build this is, of course it is going to be Hateforge. Now, Hateforge is an interesting build concept in the sense that a lot of people don't really know why it used to work. A lot of people have heard about it before. A lot of people have these misconceptions about the item, about why is no one playing it. Because when GGG announced that Hateforge would be returning last league, everyone thought that Hateforge builds would be back, and then a few Hateforges dropped, and then people were like, what do I actually build with Hateforge? Like, well, how do I actually use this item? I don't really know. Let me go on PoE Ninja, right, and check it out. No one's actually using the item. I have no idea what to do with it. And the sad fact is that Hateforge does not really work, at least for bossing at the moment, because there is no way to lower the soul gain prevention time. And as you can see here, this is a Maven demonstration of how the thing looks like. Now, there are some Hateforge builds currently that are played, and this is kind of an interesting way. So as you can see here, this is like not the true Hateforge build where you're spamming your Vol skills over and over again. You are war crying to get your rage, and then you will wait a little bit for the soul gain prevention time, and then you'll be pressing your Vol ground slam. So this is not like the true Hateforge playstyle that everyone knows and loves, where you just spam Vol ground slam over and over again. So he is actually still hitting Bone Shatter, I think, and he has a Vol ground slam over here every now and then. So it's not exactly the same exact playstyle that we know, but we're going to go over why this is the case and why this FLASK needs to be unnerfed. So Ultimatum League was considered one of the best leagues of all time, and that's because the Harvest was not really fully nerfed yet. There was a rewarding league mechanic that was inside of the map that also scaled juicing, and it was also the discovery of one of the coolest uniques ever made, known as Hateforge. Now, Hateforge was reintroduced last week, like I said, but the item is unused, and if you don't believe me, let's go check out PoE Ninja. Now, PoE Ninja is kind of depressing when you go look at this item. So let's go look at it here. Hateforge, 0% usage rate. Now, 0% usage rate, we go look at some of these builds. This guy's build doesn't even use Hateforge. He just has Hateforge for, I don't really know, whatever reason, just to show off maybe. But this build does not even use Hateforge correctly, and I don't even know why he's using it, to be honest. Like, he's just using it because he probably found it and it kind of looks cool. Now, this is the other variant that you guys saw from the earlier video, which is with Echoes of Creation and Brutus Lead Sprinkler. So the way that this build actually ends up working is that you have an extra cooldown use on your War Cry, and you're able to War Cry with the Warbringer node to get maximum rage. Every single time you have maximum rage, you can cast your Vol Ground Slam. However, you still are unable to get around the soul gain prevention time. Now, Hateforge does still work in standard. If we actually go look at the, the standard profile, we'll see that there are people right here. And this is like the standard guys. So let's go check out over here. Where is the Pathfinder? So it's played on a Pathfinder, so you can get 100% uptime on this FLASK. And where is his character? Maybe it's another person. But basically, the way that the thing works is that you have Hateforge, you use Chains of Emancipation, and I think Rot Blood to trigger, so you have infinite rage. And then you use this one FLASK over here called Soul Catcher. Now, Soul Catcher is a legacy FLASK. Soul Catcher, what it does, so the way that Hateforge actually works, does not allow you to spam Vol skills, because every Vol skill has a soul gain prevention time. And what that means is that when you use the Vol skill, you cannot actually get souls. And the way that Vol skills work is you have to kill a certain amount of mobs, or you have to get a certain amount of souls. You can also get a soul from attacking a unique enemy or rare enemy, but it has a cooldown time. So basically, this allows you to not be able to spam your Vol skills over and over again. So once you use the Vol skill, we'll be unable to gain the souls back for a few seconds. Now, every single skill is a little bit different in terms of how many souls it costs and what the soul gain prevention time is. Some skills are a lot lower. Now, you can also modify the duration of the skill, so this will also lower the soul gain prevention time. So that's why a lot of people that used to play Hateforge, they would try to do it with Vol Stormcall, or if they just do a Vol build, they'll do Vol Stormcall. Because Vol Stormcall actually benefits from reduced duration, so they'll use like the less duration gem and stuff like that. Take the reduced duration on the tree, and then that will also benefit the Vol Stormcall skill. And then with all of that reduced duration, the Vol Stormcall will have a very, very low soul gain prevention time. And Vol Stormcall also has the ability to store multiple charges. So you're actually able to play Vol Stormcall in a lot of scenarios with a similar playstyle to how Hateforge usually works. Now, as I said before, even if you have like infinite rage to spam your skill, you will always be limited by the soul gain prevention time. And you can see right here, it even says you cannot gain rage during soul gain prevention time. So how does people used to get around this? Now, the way that people got around this is by this FLASK called Soul Catcher. Now, Soul Catcher is a unique FLASK. It comes from the temple. Now, this thing grants the Vol skill during effect have 10% reduced soul gain prevention duration. Now, this is absolutely huge because reduced soul gain prevention duration does not affect the actual skill effect duration. So if you're supposed to reduce the skill effect duration or reduce the soul gain prevention duration, you won't reduce the effect duration of your Vol skill. So that means like a lot of people like to play Vol Lightning Strike in the past, but if you reduce your skill effect duration, the Vol Lightning skill is going to have like a 1 second duration. That's not going to be very good, like you saw in the earlier video with Vol Lightning Strike on Maven. Now, there was a bug last league where you were able to get it down to 0 seconds, and in GGG's way of coding it, they made it so 0 seconds equaled infinity, and I did try out that build last league where you had infinite duration Vol Lightning Strike. However, that's not really the way of doing it either, because that just bugs out the servers and eventually crashes it if enough people are doing it. Now, the reason that this FLASK used to work before was because there was a legacy variant that makes it 40% reduced soul gain prevention duration. So on PoE Wiki, you can see here, version 3.15 discontinued. Vol skills during effect have 40 to 20% reduced soul gain prevention duration. Now it's at 10%. So with it at 40%, you were able to play Pathfinder. You were able to scale your FLASK effect. You could get it up to 100% reduced soul gain prevention duration. And what that means is that you were able to play Vol Lightning Strike, and you were able to just spam Vol Lightning Strike, and the only thing that affects how many Vol Lightning Strikes are on the screen is the duration of the skill. And that's how you see that people were actually able to do bossing with it, and they were also able to map with it. Now, there is a way around this for mapping. Now, we can still play Hateforge maps if we use the soul gain prevention sextant. And this could be an interesting concept for a Magic Find setup. So if you want to do a Magic Find build, you scale your FLASK effect a little bit. Or not, you scale your FLASK effect. You take this sextant, and then you're just able to spam your Vol skill. So you can just spam like whatever, like Vol Ground Slam or Vol Reeve or Vol Power Siphon, or any Vol skill that you think could be really, really fun. And I did try this out a little bit at the League Start. I was playing Vol Venom Gyre with the soul gain prevention sextant, and it did feel like I was just spamming Vol Venom Gyre throughout the whole map, and it was a very similar playstyle to Vol Spark. And I do think that's probably one of the things that a lot of people could probably try out a little bit more. I think these soul gain prevention sextants are really, really cheap. They're like probably like 5 chaos or so. And you could try out a pseudo Hateforge build. You could actually put on Hateforge even, and then just spam a Vol skill the whole map, and it could be kind of fun. You do lose a bit of quant if you're trying Magic Finding with Sedimas, but theoretically, Hateforge does currently work in today's world as long as you take the sextant, and it's actually a very, very cheap cost for a pretty cool build concept. Now, I do think that Hateforge is kind of down in the dumps, right? It is a beloved item. If you go on Reddit and you saw what everyone was so excited about last league when Ultimatum came back with the Trial Master, so many people were like, let's play a build with Hateforge. Now, the funny thing is how much is Hateforge even currently? And I bet you it's nowhere near what it used to be. So Hateforge, the first Hateforge that came out last league was around like 5 meters or so. And you can see it's at 55 divines. And it really should be that low of a price because there are no great viable builds with it. The only way to play it is with the sextant. So that means you can't do any sort of mapping with or bossing with it. Now, I do think that this FLASK should be unnerfed to increase build diversity. Like, you could argue that the FLASK would make it overpowered, but you can already emulate the FLASK by buying the sextant. And in terms of bossing, there's already tons of builds that are way more powerful out there than Hateforge would even be. You have like Seismic Trap that's completely broken. You still have Ward Loop in the game. You still have Tornado Shot. You still have Spark with Nimmies. There's so many builds out there that are just as powerful even if they unnerf this FLASK. So I do think that a lot of people enjoy the build diversity that would be introduced from having this FLASK. You could already kind of get the same effect with the Sexton, so I don't really see why GGG should not unnerf this FLASK. Let me know down in the comments below if you would like to play Hateforge again, if you agree that GGG should unnerf Soul Catcher so that we can finally spam Vault Lightning Strike again. But thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you find more Mirrors, Divines, and Hateforges than me, and see you next time. Bye!